Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, adjudicators. Good afternoon, debaters. For the government side, we have the FM, Financial Management. And for the opposition side, we have the education students major in English. Okay, it's a mixture of edu students. With the motion, this House believes that Rizal retracted his statements against Spain. Prime Minister, you may now do your job.
To our adjudicators, fellow students, ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant afternoon. And to the member of the opposite team, good luck to the both of us. As I speak before you, I would like to present today's debate topic, the retraction of Dr. Rizal's statement against the Spaniards. Today, as the first speaker, I would like to focus first on Rizal being a Catholic, since the retraction paper says that he is a Catholic. We, the affirmative side, believes that Dr. Rizal did sign a retraction letter saying that he is a Roman Catholic and he retracts everything he said against the Catholic Church. And the said letter is now known as the retraction. Let me define first retraction. It is an act of moving something back. The retraction document was found by Father Manuel R. Garcia on May 18, 1935. My first point is to prove that Rizal, even in the last few days of his execution or his life, did practice Catholicism. My first point is an evidence written in Father Vicente Balaguer memorandum record that on the last day of his execution, Rizal asked for Mass, woke up a few times during his sleep, had a communion with the rosary on his hands, confessed sins to a priest, or what we call as kumpisal at communion. That was approved by the Jesuits and assigned Father Villa Clara as the officiating priest of the Mass happened inside Rizal's cell. The memorandum also mentioned that Rizal asked for the image of Sagrado Corazon de Jesus, or what we know as Sacred Heart of Jesus in English. According to Father Vicente Balaguer, Rizal kissed the image of Sagrado Corazon de Jesus requested by him to the Jesuits. While on his knees and the cell was filled with religious authorities, the retraction letter was read and signed by Rizal. My second point is about the marriage. An evidence that Rizal did retract is that when Father Vicente Balaguer came to term that he married Josephine Bracken and Dr. Jose Rizal after Rizal signed the retraction paper. In the Pita, the condition to be wedded is the retraction. No retraction, no marriage. My second proof is on December 29, 1896, Josephine visited Rizal in his cell. Sadly exclaimed, my dear, my time has come to be united to you, but to be separated forever. After that, he begged for forgiveness for the sorrows he had caused to Josephine.
If Rizal really retracted that night, on December 29, why would he renounce his religious ideas for a few hours more of his life?
The answer to your questions will be answered after my speech. Yes. After that, he begged for forgiveness for the sorrow he had caused to Josephine. A few minutes before he came to face the firing squad, the Spanish authorities allowed Rizal to get married to Josephine. Rizal gave her a copy of Father Tomas a Kempis de la Imitación de Cristo in Menosprecio del Mundo with a dedication to my dear and unhappy wife, Josephine. December 30th, Jose Rizal. He agreed to retract and got married to Josephine. In another part of my speech, I would like to interpret our own side and rebut those questions after I ask them. My third point is, if Rizal died as a Catholic, why did they bury him in a cemetery for anti-Catholic Church? Well, Rizal killed as a traitor to the Spanish government. Spaniards didn't give Rizal any consideration other than what is agreed about signing the retraction paper and marriage to Josephine and the state of dying as a Catholic. Rizal died as a Catholic but buried outside the walls. Why? Because Spaniards did what they said but never bury a traitor inside the Catholic cemetery. Similarly, that he is still executed despite of he being retracted. My first point is, if Rizal really retracted, he would not have been executed. Yes, Rizal did retract everything he said against the Spaniards and with the Catholic Church as well. But he had lots of suspected crimes linked to his name, one of which is he is part of La Solidaridad, which is a propaganda that is an illegal thing to do to the Spaniards. He is a criminal to the Spaniards' perspective that is need to be punished. Yes, he retracted, but he does not mean that his other sins was forgiven with the Spanish government. He is the member of La Solidaridad he joined, and in accordance to the Spanish code, a person who participates in that propaganda will be punished. Does Rizal still worthy to be our national hero? We do believe that Rizal contribution in our country is enough for him to be our national hero, and we stated clear and stronger proof stated a while ago that but our topic is about did he retract or not, which I will leave the rest to my next speaker.
Thank you so much, Prime Minister. You may now have the chance to refute the speech of the Prime Minister, Leader of the Opposition.
Members of the House, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. As regards to the proposition at hand, we, on the opposition bench, strongly submit that Jose Rizal, our national hero, did not retract all his previous statements. Thus, all the documents regarding this controversy were products of forgery and fabrication. We first close with the finding of the document of the so-called retraction by Father Manuel A. Garcia on May 18, 1935 in the archives of the RS. However, that the religious marriage contract has not been found until now. The religious marriage implied as necessary prerequisite to retraction. At the same time, Father Garcia also found the book of prayers with Rizal's signature. The proofs would seem to be conclusive, but the adversaries would not admit the fact. They argued that the signature is false. This opinion is supported by a study made by Professor Ricardo Pascual in his book, Rizal Beyond the Grave. He points out the similarity of the handwriting and the retraction itself.
Audience, please keep quiet. Hello.
Are you sure that you are saying is true, not pure lies? Because if I prove that you are wrong, you're ready to face the consequence. Kindly give me deeper context.
Please avoid raising unacceptable.
That the three signatories and arrives at the conclusion that the document is the work of a single hand. Here also comes our test of authenticity of the sources. First, let us determine the date of the alleged retraction document. As is stated from the Book of Runes in Guadalupe in 1962, there are 4 original retractions. According to the heated authors, Dr. J.M. Fernandez Pasimal is dated 1890, so is Mr. Ricardo Siba VI, and surprisingly, the one in the pamphlet is statement of the Catholic hierarchy of the Philippines. Funny how it is safe to say that the least fantastic of Rizal in 1890 was in Europe, busy putting the finishing touches to El Filibusterismo. Now, is it anachronistic? Obviously no. If Dr. J.M. Hernandez Casimal is from the original retraction, and there is no reason to doubt his integrity and his manner, then the original document carries the date 1890. But according to the priest who attended Rizal in his last hours, there was one and only one retraction document, and its date is 1896. It is obvious then that the claim of Father Balaguer does not correlate the alleged retraction document we can now say that Dr. Hernandez's original form, which is Pasimal, was taken, and that the Catholic hierarchy itself is a forgery. Another.
How could someone forge something without any basis?
Because someone can forge that document if they have some issues regarding that person to destroy the image of that person. And that forger is Roman Roque. Another, in the version of found by Father Garcia in 1935, line 6 says Iglesia Católica, while in the declaration of Father Balaguer, it says only Iglesia. In line 10 of Father Garcia's version, it says por la Iglesia. The same line with Father Balaguer's version, it says por la misma Iglesia. So which is which? Next, the document of retraction was kept secret, so that no one except the authorities was able to see it at that time. Only copies of it were furnished of newspapers, but the exception of one person, nobody saw the original. In fact, this original was kept in such a way that it was not found until after 39 years had transpired. More so, when the family of Rizal asked for a copy of the original document, as well as a copy of the certificate of canonical marriage with Josephine Bracken, both petitions were denied. Another, Rizal's burial was also kept secret. Next, no masses were said for his soul or his funeral held by the Catholics. And we, the opposition side, believe that Jose Rizal and Josephine Bracken are not canonically married. And going back to Father Balaguer's account, he claims that at 3 a.m., Jose Rizal heard a mass and confessed for the 4th time. Then he heard another mass. At this point, Rizal questioned, "Can my soul go to heaven right now?" The question, we can only say, is a pure real one and radically go against Rizal's mentality and character. Lastly, aside from Coates' analysis, Father Balaguer appeared on oath in 1909 and unwittingly revealed his own fraud. In his account, he made no mention of the mi ultimo adios that Rizal, on December 29, wished to write verses Balaguer knew. He told the journalists about it, but the following morning, only letters, books, and an alcohol burner remained to be disposed of by the authorities. He erroneously concluded that no poem had been written and thus made no mention of it in his account, thereby revealing the truth, which was that he was not within Fort Santiago during the middle of that last night and had no knowledge of what was then taking place. Not only did Balaguer in his account not mention the poem, he made his account so elaborate that Rizal is allowed no time in which to write, and only a glance at the mi ultimo adios is needed to show that it would have taken several hours to write. From this, we can again question the credibility of the eyewitness of the source. Is he really telling the truth, or he is unconsciously tells falsehood? Is he credible, knowing the fact that there are inconsistencies in his statements and that he intended to publish anonymously his accounts regarding the so-called retraction, where he included much praise of himself?
Thank you so much, Leader of the Opposition.
The opposition side, and we strongly believe that the results retraction is just a work of forgery and fabrication. First of all, can we consider the retraction authentic or credible, knowing that it was only shown to the public after 39 years of Rizal's execution? Further PFI, according to the National Historical Commission of the Philippines, posted on September 19, 2012 by Peter Jaidel V. Ogong, reported that as early as 1907, the retraction of Rizal was copied verbatim and published in Spain, and is reprinted in Manila. Father Gracia, who found the original document, also copied it verbatim. In both reproductions, there were conflicting versions of the text. Add to this date of the signing was very clear in the original Spanish document which Rizal supposedly signed. The date was December 29, 1890. Later, another supposedly original document surfaced. It bears the date December 29, 1889C. The number 0 was evidently altered to make it look like letter C. Then, still later, another supposedly original document came out. It has date December 29, 1896. This time, the 0 becomes 6. So, which is which? Can we not question its authenticity about these inconsistencies? According to the same source, the forger of Rizal's signature was Roman Roque, the man who also forged the signature of Urbano Lacuna, which was used to capture Aguinaldo. The mastermind, they say, in both Lacuna's and Rizal's signature forging was Lazaro Segovia. They were approached by the Spanish friars during the final day of Filipino-American War to forge Rizal's signature. Another source that will probe this claim was according to the forgery of Rizal's Retraction written on March 17, 2012 by Don Antonio Abad. When Don Antonio Abad, a prominent resident of San Isidro, Nueva Ecija, celebrated his 15th birthday on August 13, 1901, Roman Roque, who was close neighbor and friend of Abad's, were among the celebrant well-wishers. During conversation with the elder guest, Roque disclosed that he was fetched by Lazaro Segovia from San Isidro not long after the news of Aguinaldo's capture. He was taken to Manila and made stay at Hotel Cuatro Lecciones in Intramuros, where he worked on the forging of Rizal's penmanship and signature. According to Bate sources in the Philippine history by Jose Victor Torres, in the statement of Rafael Palma, Rizal's burial was kept secret, the cadaver having been delivered to the members of a Catholic Church association friendly to the friars instead of being delivered to the family, who had claimed it. How is it that Christian charity applied to one who dies within the church is not even the desire of his family to bury him in their own account is respected? Another, in spite of what Rizal meant to the Filipinos and what his conversion meant, no masses were said for his soul or funeral held by the Catholics. According to the book of the life and works of Rizal by Dr. Marialo M. Ariola, when Rizal children was introduced, it is stated that Narciso was married to Antonio, Olympia was married to Silvestre, Lucia was married to Matriano, Maria was married to Daniel, but Jose Rizal is said to live with Josephine Bracken and was never told that they were married. Again, Jose Rizal was said to live with Josephine Bracken and was never told that they were married. According to Exposing the Roman Catholic Church by Ramon G. Lopez, MD, considering the time it would take for the three priests, Father Jose, Father Estanislao, and Father Vicente Balaguer to negotiate the expanse of the work to give spiritual care to the condemned doctor Jose Rizal, why is it that Father Balaguer could describe a wedding? Furthermore, where were Father Villa Clara and Father March to corroborate the occurrence of the marriage ceremony? Or was there really even one at all?
How you sure that there was not married? They were not married
I have claimed that.
because we have pieces.
You may now proceed with your speech.
In Josephine Bracken's matrimony to Vicente Abad, the church register of marriages kept at Roman Catholic Cathedral in Hong Kong made no reference that Jose was a Rizal by marriage or that she was a widow of Dr. Jose Rizal. In legal register of Hong Kong, Josephine used the last name Bracken instead of Rizal to be married to Vicente Abad. According to the same source, Father Stanislao March, Father Jose Villaclara, who accompanied Dr. Jose Rizal in the execution site, could have ordered a Christian burial, but they did not. They must have known that no retraction was made. Dr. Jose Rizal was laid to earth bare without a sock and without a coffin. One must also remember that Dr. Jose Rizal wrote a short and final note to his parents dated December 30, 1896 at 6 in the morning with no mention of occurred intended retraction and or marriage. A message without important information would have been a great consolation to Doña Teodora Alonso and Don Francisco Mercado, whom he loved, respect, and dearly. Despite numerous immediate supplication from Rizal's family after execution, no letter of retraction could have been produced. Another one, the apparent discovery of an obviously forged autobiography of Josephine Bracken, claiming married to Dr. Jose Rizal, showed a handwriting that bore no resemblance to Josephine's and had glaring errors in syntax, which revealed that the portraying author's primary language was in Spanish. The Rizal's family was informed by the church that approximately 9 to 11 days after the execution, a mass of the deceased would be said, after which the letter of retraction would be shown to the family. Though the family was in attendance, the mass was never celebrated, and again, no letter of retraction was shown. The Jesuits themselves did not celebrate any mass for his soul, nor did not hold any funeral rites over his body. I take this as a reprobation of the Jesuits against the friar, loudly hinting to the Filipino people that their esteemed pupil did not abjure.
Thank you so much, Deputy Leader of the Opposition. Now may I call on the government, please.
You know, guys, if I were in the court, I will declare you as guilty. Because you know why? We don't believe in you. Ladies and gentlemen, you have heard clear evidence regarding that Rizal. That Rizal is a Catholic, as said by the retraction letter included. This document was really elaborated. Father Balaguer signed on April 7, 1917 in Barcelona as witness that Rizal really retracted. No marriage happened unless Rizal retracted on December 30 before it happened, the marriage ceremony. Through this reason, we propose it is clear Rizal retracted his body statements against the Spaniards and Catholic as well. The retraction did not publicize it because the Spaniard wanted Rizal to dictate as a traitor, not a martyr. Therefore, the retraction was kept in a secret. Yes?
Are you aware that Father Balaguer is not allowed to enter the death cell of Rizal?
Tricky question yan. Are you aware? Sabi, pag sinabi niyang aware siya, pwede mababaw yung sinabi niya. Pag hindi siya, pag sinabi
Yes,
niya hindi.
I'm always aware. Because I have studied that why I'm going to it.
Can we now continue your speech? Please avoid unnecessary noise for us not to disturb the debaters.
Depende din sa, hindi yun mali. Pwede din sa dalawa. Depende yun.
Please stand up. Please stand up.
You said that no marriage, no retraction. In our basis, they both get married after the Catholic rite on the 12/13/1856 at 5 o'clock early in the morning, 2 hours before the Rizal gets retracted. How do you sure that Rizal did not retract if you?
Thank you so much, Government Whip. We shall now proceed with the Opposition Whip.
Today, my colleagues and I oppose to you the retraction of Rizal. Thus, this House believes that Jose Rizal did not retract his previous statements and he never abjured Masonry. But before I come to my own arguments, let us first have a look about what the affirmative team have said. Thank you, third speaker, for saying the fact that you're aware that Father Balaguer is not allowed to enter the death cell of Rizal. In addition, the second speaker from the affirmative team have pointed out that the retraction document was presented to the public. If so, then why is that only copies of it were published but nobody saw the original copy? The third speaker from the affirmative team had also said that Father Balaguer was there to witness the retraction of Rizal, that in fact, Father Balaguer affirmed an oath on 1909 and intentionally revealed his own fraud. Members of the floor, ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant afternoon. We, the opposition side, strongly submit that Jose Rizal, our national hero, did not retract his previous statements and he never abjured masonry. First and foremost, the document of retraction was kept secret so that no one except the authorities was able to see it at that time. This discovery of the document was found in the archives of Archbishop Palace. It is to be stressed, however, the religious marriage contract has not been found until now. The marriage documents could be used as a proof of the retraction. But why is that there were no marriage documents shown? More so, when the family of Rizal asked for a copy of the original document as well as a copy of the certificate of the said marriage with Josephine Bracken, both petitions were denied. Secondly, they argued that the signature is false. I would like to highlight a study made by Professor Ricardo Pascual in his book Rizal Beyond the Grave. He pointed out the similarity of the handwriting in the retraction itself and that of the three signatories, and arrived with the conclusion of the document that is a work of single hand. It is stated that the forger of Rizal's signature was Roman Roque, the man who also forged the signature of Urbano Laguna, which was used to capture Aguinaldo. The mastermind in both signature forging was Lazaro Segovia. This story was revealed by Antonio K. Abad, and according to him, when he celebrated his 15th birthday, Roman Roque, who was a close neighbor and friend of the Abads, were there. Roque stated the fact that he was fetched by Lazaro Segovia not long after the news of Aguinaldo's capture. He was taken to Manila and made to stay at a hotel and work on the forging of Rizal's penmanship and signature. Doesn't this give us enough proof that the retraction document was an act of fabrication? Let me enlighten you that there were also conflicting versions of the text. The date of the signing was very clear in the original Spanish document which Rizal supposedly signed. The date was December 29, 1890. But why is that there are such supposedly original documents that serve as the years 1890 and 1896? Another in a version of found by Father Garcia in 1935, the lines doesn't match with Father Balaguer's version. It is obvious then that the claim of Father Balaguer does not correlate the alleged retraction document. Thus, if the retraction document is real and authentic enough, then why is it that many come out of different dates and versions? Here also comes up our authenticity of the sources. Dr. James Hernandez facsimile cited from the Book of Prunes and Bonafide 1962. There are 4 original retractions according to the authors, which is dated 1890. Surprisingly, how can we say that Rizal wrote the retraction letter when he was busy putting touches in his El Filibusterismo in Europe? Thirdly, Rizal's burial was kept secret instead of delivered to the family who had claimed it. The cadaver had been delivered to the members of a Catholic association friendly to the friars. Another, in spite of what Rizal meant to the Filipinos and of what his conversion meant, no masses were said for his funeral held by the Catholics. I would also like to reiterate from the book the vital words of Rizal. It is expressed that all of Rizal's children were introduced to be married, but as of Rizal himself, it is stated that he lived with Josephine Bracken and was not told that they are married. Why is the rest of the siblings' description is married to someone, while Rizal's description was only to live with Josephine? Lastly, Father Balaguer's affirmed a note on 1909 and had intentionally revealed his own fraud, thereby revealing the truth, which was that he was not within Fort Santiago during the middle of that night of Rizal and had no knowledge of what was then taking place. In the controversy itself, it is authentic considering the span of time, which is 39 years, that it was not shown to the public after Rizal's execution. We would like to believe the purported retraction was invented by the friar to deflect the heroism of Rizal, which was centered on the prior abuses. The retraction has no truth and an insult to a dead man. Let us come to think of it. Would Rizal really take back all the writings he created with his hard work? With this in mind again, we on the negative side strongly believe that Jose Rizal did not retract his statements. Ladies and gentlemen, I now rest my case. Thank you and a pleasant afternoon.
Thank you so much, Opposition Whip. Now, both houses are given 5 minutes to compose their reply whips.
I was married by Father Balaguer, which is not true because there was no marriage. Second, as to the question, what is their basis to forge Jose Rizal's signature? Our answer is that his poems, novels, and other writings, and from there, they could practice and forge Jose Rizal's signature. Second, They said that Jose Rizal wrote a letter to his mother about his engagement in the Catholic Church, which is true because our claim is that Jose Rizal is not anti-God nor anti-Catholic. He was just anti-cleric to those who abused their mission and hid behind a pretentious cloak of religiosity. He knew there were those who practiced religion but did not worship God. He was not likely to yield his ideas because his former preceptors and teachers already talked to him before and there was no retraction. Third, the third speaker said that she is aware that Father Balaguer is not allowed to enter the death cell of Jose Rizal. Therefore, we can say that he is not an eyewitness. We can rely on the statements given by Father Balaguer because he is not there. Another, as to their claim that there is no marriage, no retraction, we agree with that because there was no marriage that happened and there was no retraction. And I would also like to take this opportunity to thank the government side for enlightening us more that Jose Rizal never retracted his previous statements about the Catholic Church and never adjured Masonry. Because he is just anti-cleric.
Thank you so much, opposition side. You may now do your job, Prime Minister, to deliver the reply list.
You have 3 minutes. Father Balaguer was with Rizal in Port Santiago. He also testified that he is positive by personal knowledge. I have personally intervened and witnessed it myself, and he is sworn to testify that on the very day of Rizal's death, he will wrote a very detailed account of everything. How can someone duplicate a document without a basis? The dates and the copies are inconsistent. 1896, 1890, 1890, 6C, and 0 are almost identical. Can you please use the clues that are subject reading in the Philippine history and the life and works of Rizal taught to us? We all know that Rizal's life started and ended in 1800s. They are not gods to create a document in 1996, which is a non-existing date. I'm glad that you used the poem Ultimo Adios. We're on the line where faith doesn't kill, where the one who reigns is God. And so it is strengthening our side that Rizal retracted his statement against the Catholic Church. Marriage of Josephine Bracken and Jose Rizal was valid. It is because Rizal desires to get married with Josephine according to the Roman Catholic rite. However, the authorities of the Catholic make a decision. Rizal should retract some earlier as heretic classified his statement.
Thank you so much, government side. Now, may I ask the debaters to please stand and you may now cross the hands. A round of applause for them.